Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's mindfulness practice. My name's Leanna. Thank you for choosing to practice with me today and for taking this time for yourself. Having all of my spring runners in mind, those that are gearing up for races, and knowing that I love the sport so much. So, sharing my mindfulness tips around recovery and how yoga has supported me throughout my training, I wanted to design a cool down for you to incorporate on those run days so that you are recovering at your best and overall increasing how you can perform and show up for your next run. So I hope that this is supportive for you. I will be guiding you through some very foundational basic shapes, but offering a really nice release for our legs, our lower body, and also that upper back that takes a lot of the pressure during running. If you do have a yoga block or strap, that'd be helpful to have for your practice. Alternatively, grabbing a belt or even a long towel could be supportive for one of the shapes that we're taking in particular. And if you don't have a block, alternatively, something like a water bottle to bring the ground closer to you might also be supportive for this one shape that I have in mind. If you don't have anything like that, that's totally fine. You can adjust your shape. Going into this fuller expression can sometimes just be a little bit inaccessible, especially with the tight hamstrings that we get from running. So it's helpful to have some props by your side for some of the shapes that we'll take today. With that, we will get started. We are actually going to get started standing as if you are finishing your run and just walking inside your house. So we'll get standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Those blocks or props rather can just stand by your side. And let's just come to the top of our mat. Have those feet about hip distance apart and then really root down through all four corners. Bring a little bend in those knees. Roll the shoulders up towards your ears, roll them down your back. And then let's take a hand over our heart or belly. Eyes can soften down or close completely. And just landing here for the start of your practice. Maybe allowing that body to gently sway side to side, back and forth, feeling how those feet are connecting with the earth beneath you. And then with that hand on your heart and belly, starting to slow down that breath, starting to connect inwards, and coming to notice how you're feeling right now in this moment. You might be taking this practice after a run. You might just be connecting with this practice at another time throughout your day. Let's take a few rounds of breath here together. Take a slow, deep breath in through the nose, filling up. Open the mouth, relax the shoulders as you exhale. Continuing to breathe here, and I'll guide you through extended exhale breathing to start to down-regulate the nervous system. So next breath in, we're inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Another round. Breathe in for 4. And extend the breath out for 6. Last round here. Breathe in for 4. Extend the breath out for 6. Good. Allow that technique to fall away and welcome in your natural rhythm. Tuning in to whether you can feel a subtle shift. And then finding a moment as that natural breath begins to land into a pace that can support you. And when you're ready, you can softly flutter your eyes open. Enjoy this time, everyone. Thank you for being here. Let's use our next breath in to root down through the feet. Reach tall for extended mountain. Gaze may lift to those hands. And then on your breath out, bow over the legs for a forward fold. Take a generous bend in those knees. And then allow the crown of the head to reach to the ground. That tailbone starts to reach towards the sky. And let's sway side to side, reaching those hands to the right and then semicircling over to the left. Taking a few rounds side to side, allowing that
rotation and release to come into the lower back, into the backs of those legs. Let's take one more round to each side. Good, and then planting that left hand down in front of your face, slight bend in the left knee. Use your next inhale to reach the right arm tall to the sky. Find that twist through the upper back. Good, hold for one more breath in here. Maybe that gaze lifts to your thumb. Exhale, right hand meets the ground, slight bend in the right knee. Breathe in, reach the left arm tall. Really peel that left side of the chest open. Take one more inhale here, gazing up to that thumb. Exhale, release to the ground. Breathe in one more time to the right, finding that opening, that rotation. Use your breath out to plant the right hand down. Last time to the left, breathe in, reach tall. Gaze lifts to the sky if you have that space in your neck. And then use your breath out to release down. Find a halfway lift, long spine. Hands can come to shins or stay to the ground. Exhale, release. Let's take one more halfway lift. Take a breath in, long spine, crown of the head reaches forward, shoulders down your back. Good, exhale to fold. Hands plant down, step the left foot back, lower that left knee down for a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So those hands, they can stay close to the earth if that's what feels most supportive for you, or they can come up to place onto that right thigh. Now, what we're looking for here is a really deep bend into that right knee. That knee might tract over that right ankle. That's okay. And we're hugging the ribs into our midline to find that stability. Squeezing those glutes as we're lunging forward. Hips are sinking with gravity to the ground. Start to notice the sensations here, the opening along the front of that left hip flexor, maybe even into that right side. Take a full breath in. Draw the shoulders away from your ears on your breath out. Good, one more inhale here. Exhale, hands meet the ground. Shift that right foot out to a lizard lunge, long edge side of that mat. Hands are to the inside of that right foot. Toes out, heels in on the right side. Slight arch in the spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, shift the hips back, hamstring stretch, flex through those right toes. Breathe in to lunge forward. Exhale to shift back. Good, one more time. Breathe in. And exhale, breathe out. Land here in that hamstring stretch, flexing through those right toes and breathing along the back of that right leg. Allow that spine to round, bowing towards the earth, tenting through those fingers, reaching towards the ground. Notice that length and stretch sensation along the back of the right leg. Find a full breath in. Full breath out. Last round of breath here. Use your inhale to lunge back forward. Now grabbing hold of those props, if you have one, we're going to use that block to place under our left hand. That strap's going to come into the right hand. So finding a little bit more height off the ground here, I find that's helpful to find this bind of our left foot for our quad stretch. Now you might have space to just reach back with that hand. Option to bring that towel or that strap around that left foot, and then you start to pull that foot into your body, using the height on the left side to find that engagement with that foot. If you have the space, you might just have that left hand on the ground. Maybe that foot is just hanging in space. Can you root down through the right side? Allow those hips to sink to the ground. And the more you pull that left foot towards you, the more intense this quad stretch will be. So breathing into it, noticing if that breath has become constricted. Maybe you've gone too far and you ease a little bit out of that shape. Take one more full breath in. Use your exhale to release the bind. Left foot meets the ground. Props released by your side. Plant those hands down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Good, now pedaling out through both feet. Let's reach that right heel to the ground, keep a bend in that left knee. Starting to bring some more length along the back of that right leg. We're grounding down through the palms here. Fingers are spreading wide, lifting that tail as we're melting the chest and belly. Take a full breath in. Allow that right heel to sink a little lower on your breath out. Good, one more round of breath here. Switch sides on your next inhale. Left heel down, slight bend in that right knee. Reaching that left heel to the ground, allowing length and extension to come in on that left side. Find a full breath in and a full breath out. Nice, one more full round of breath here. Use your next inhale to come high on both those toes. And then use that exhale to step the left foot forward, lower the back knee, finding that low lunge. We're framing that left foot. Option to keep those hands low, or you can lift them high to that thigh. We're lunging into that left knee, allowing it to tract forward, hugging into the midline for our stability, as we're allowing gravity and the squeezing of our glutes to allow those hips to sink to the ground. Notice the difference between left to right here. Notice that opening along the right side of your body, maybe into the left. Can you draw the shoulders down your back? Good. Release any tension in the neck and the jaw. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Last inhale here. Those hands release to the ground if they're not already. Wiggle that left foot out to that lizard lunge, toes out, heel in, and then take a breath in, slight arch in the back. Exhale to shift the hips back, find that hamstring stretch. Breathe in, lunge forward. Exhale to shift back. One more round of this flossing motion. Breathe in. And breathe out, landing here in that half splits hamstring stretch. Allow that spine to round. Focus the sensation and the breath along the back of that left leg. And then flexing through those toes, notice how that intensifies the stretch all the way from the heel up through the Achilles, the calf, back of the knee, hamstring, all the way into that glute. Finding length here, taking a full round of breath. The last full round. Use that next inhale to lunge back forward and then grabbing hold of our props again. That block comes under that right hand if you'd like to have that for support. Start to bend through that right knee, either grabbing hold of the foot or using your strap here to help with that connection. You might be using a towel. Maybe you have that strap handy. Maybe that foot is just hanging in space. And then allowing those toes to point on the right side or keeping that foot flexed, whatever feels best for you. Pulling that right foot in closer to your body to intensify that quad stretch. Can you allow the hips to sink heavy? And then focusing on your breath here, seeing if it's become constricted. Have you gone one step too far? Can you ease out of the shape to allow that breath to flow nice and smooth? Breathe into the lower body. Good. And as you're reaching that left hand back towards that right foot, you might notice an opening across the left side of your chest. Notice where the sensations are in this shape. Let's take one more full round of breath in. And then use your breath out to release that foot. Blocks release to the side. And then we swing that left leg back, coming to a tabletop. Planting down through all fours. Take a deep breath in, drop the belly, lift the gaze and tailbone for cow pose. Exhale, round through the spine, push the ground away for cat. Good, breathe in, coming to that cow pose, rippling like a wave through the spine. Exhale, round into cat. Let's take one more round here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last inhale. Sink the hips back to a child's pose on your breath out. Draw those knees a little wider. Allow those hands to reach forward. That forehead meets the ground, maybe a block. And then reaching those hands back towards your heels, making contact with those feet if you have the space, and just allowing those shoulders to relax down. Find a full breath in and a full breath out. Use your next inhale to plant those hands in front of your knees. Lift yourself upright to a seat. Swinging those legs forward, making your way to your back body. Give those legs a hug and squeeze once you arrive. Again, taking a shift side to side or finding stillness. Take a full round of breath. Planting those feet hip distance apart, cross the right ankle over the left thigh for figure four. Now, option to stay here as you are in figure four, using that right hand to push that thigh out. Or if you have the space, maybe you draw those legs into your chest, interlacing those hands on that left hamstring or in front of that left shin. What we're looking for here is an opening along the outer glute on that right side. You might feel it all the way up and through that leg. Let's flex through those right toes to protect that knee joint on both sides. And if those hands or legs rather are drawing into your chest, you can use that right elbow to push that thigh out a little deeper. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Holding in stillness or finding movement. Let's take one more full round of breath. Good, last inhale here. Releasing it down on your exhale. Cactus those arms by your side, or perhaps you find a T shape. Keeping this figure four shape, just allow those legs to drop to the left. That right foot stamps into the ground. That gaze can turn to the right if you have space. A supine twist variation. With this figure four bind, you might notice more of a stretch into that right glute, into the hip. An option to stay here as you are. You can use that left hand to push that right thigh out a little deeper, bringing this into a stretch into the inner thigh, the groin. Just noticing where you feel the sensations, allowing that body to twist and release down. Shoulder blades are rooting as those legs are falling heavier to the left. Find a full breath in. Full breath out. 2 more rounds of breath here. Last full round. Good. Draw that gaze back through center if it's not already. And then use the support of those arms to help lift those legs back through center. Uncross the right foot. Walk those feet mat distance, knees fall in. Take a gentle windshield wiper side to side, just resetting the spine, resetting the hips. One more full round of breath through this motion. Good, and then coming back through center, feet hip distance apart, cross the left ankle over the right thigh this time, flexing through those toes. Option is stay, using that left hand to engage that knee out a little deeper. Or if you have the space to do so, you can draw those knees into your chest, interlace behind that right thigh or in front of that right shin. And flexing through both feet if you do have that thread the needle shape. And allowing that back body and head to relax down here. So if you are elevated there, maybe you just come back to that figure four shape, offering some restoration to that body. Minimal effort in this shape that we're taking. And then you might find a rock side to side. You might hold in stillness. Option to use that left elbow to direct that thigh out a little deeper. Can you move the breath down into those hips, those glutes, offering release to that left side? Find a full breath in. Full breath out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last inhale here. Releasing that right foot down if it's not already. And then finding that T or cactus shape with the arms. Keeping that figure four shape. Those legs drop to the right. Left foot stamps into the ground. Option to bring the gaze to the left. And then last option here is to use that right hand to encourage that left thigh out a little deeper. Supine twist variation, allowing there to be a heaviness and softness in the body. Notice where you're feeling the sensations of this shape. Find a full breath in. Full breath out. 2 more rounds of breath as you are. Good, last round. Next inhale, that gaze comes back through center, and you draw those legs back through center, giving those legs a hug and squeeze into your chest. Option to keep your knees in this reverse child's pose shape, or you can find happy baby, grabbing holds of the shins or feet. Feet draw to the sky as those knees draw down and out. Allowing there to be openness here in the legs. Allowing that back body to rest down, so adjusting the hand placement to find that. One more full round of breath wherever you are, stillness or movement. And then releasing those legs back down. Option to take recline butterfly here for the last few moments of our practice, or you can find Shavasana, corpse pose with those legs long. This is your final rest for Shavasana, so your choice with what shape is going to support you most. And then I invite you to bring a hand over your heart and belly as we land here for these last few moments. Draw the shoulders away from your ears and down your back. Take a slight tuck of the chin to elongate your neck. And then together we'll take a deep, full breath in. Long exhale out. Feel the weight of your body pushing into the earth and the earth pushing back in towards you, supporting you here steady and rooted. And we'll come back to that pranayama of extended exhale breathing as we land here together. On your next inhale, drawing in your breath for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend the exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Breathe in for 4. And extend the breath out for 6. One more round. Breathe in for 4. Breathe out for 6. Allow that to fall away and welcome in your natural rhythm. Tuning into that shift that you might feel or see in the entire system. Your body, your mind, your breath, energy. And noticing the down regulation of your nervous system that you brought in with this short practice. Tending and caring for your body in an intentional way, and slowing yourself down, coming back into balance, reconnecting with yourself. Please rest here for as long as you'd like, and I'll see you next time.
Namaste, everyone.